Hi guys, I wanted to tell you guys a little story. So I did something that was totally scaring me. I yesterday got highlights in my hair for the first time. Can you see them a little bit? They're super subtle because I was so scared. And as I was leaving, they called me a highlight virgin because I've never ever colored my hair before, ever. And I'm on this new journey of trying to do things that scare me. So when I feel fear, I'm like, I'm gonna do it anyway. And these are simple things, right? Like they're not go literally jump off my deck or something. It's just I've never colored my hair. And the older I've gotten, the darker my hair has gotten. It's like so as soon as she revealed it, I was like, oh, that's what my hair used to look like. Like I used to have these natural little highlights in it, and I don't know, pregnancy, age, whatever, it's just continued to get almost black. And so I conquered my fear. I did it. You guys, on the way, I was so scared that when I parked my car, I got out, I looked, I was like totally over the line. I was like, that was terrible parking job, and it's right in front of the building, so I'm thinking they can see it. That's embarrassing. And it was over the line into a handicap spot. So I was like, okay, Jen, don't do that to the poor people who are handicapped. So I got in my car, I put it in reverse, do it again, and it still wasn't the greatest parking job. I'm like, what is wrong with me? I was just shaking. And then I took off my coat and I put it on a hanger and I went to hang it on the rack, and it fell to the ground. Like I misjudged, and I think that the rack really was rounded a little bit, but I was like, what is my problem? And I went to sit down, take off my earrings before you get your hair cut. Sometimes I take off my earrings just, so they don't go flying across the room, because that's happened to me before. And again, my hand was just shaking. And it seems so silly, but when you've never done something before, that fear is real, and it comes up and it can stop us, of course, because our brain's going, don't do this. You feel fear. But I think especially in business, it's so important to do things scared, and growing up as a musician, as a piano player, you would be this little kid, my hands would be shaking, and you go up and you perform for the recital anyway. You do it scared. And I've been able to overcome those feelings when I spoke on stage recently for 400 people, and it was live streamed, and it's on YouTube. I knew, the potential of this. It was so big, right? Like I knew it was going to be recorded. I knew so many people were going to see it, and I felt that fear, and I did it anyway. And I realized in that moment too that I really do have techniques and grounding things that I do. So before, and especially on stage, because I'm very used to performing, I just kind of planted my feet and really breathed and just felt like this, I don't know, this centering. And I also, a way to trick myself is I picture myself leaving the stage, and I picture the feeling of feeling so good that it was over. And so I kind of fast forward through the fear to the ending, and that feeling of it felt so good is what bolsters me to go on stage. And so I probably should have used those techniques yesterday with getting my hair cut. I didn't. I sort of was just making a joke of it, and the gal was so good, and it's so subtle. I mean, you can hardly see it. That's why it's kind of laughable. But maybe I'll keep being brave and keep doing other colors and experiment with that, and just kind of have fun, because I'm a creative person, and I think it's good to have self-expression. So I wanted to share that story with you, but I also wanted to share something even more scary. And if you read the blog last week, we were talking about Enneagram. Enneagram is another personality type, right? There's so many. You might be annoyed with this, or you might be totally intrigued like I am. I love Myers-Briggs, Strength Finders, Colby, and now Enneagram is another one that we can kind of add to our arsenal. And I have been researching this so much, and every time I take a test, I've taken like 4, I keep getting different numbers. So I'm like, I don't know what's going on. But I'm going to tell you my goal for 2019. My goal for 2019 is to be really me, just be me. And I'm going to try to figure out who I am under the layers of life and family and business, and see, and I've been on this journey for a long time, but I really, in 2019, I want to set this test aside, and I want to really ask myself, like, what do you want to do, and who are you really? And maybe you're on this journey too. Chris and I were talking about it this morning, and I think one thing that's really important is it's okay if you kind of don't know yourself. It's okay if you feel like you've kind of lost yourself. Our culture says that's a really bad thing. Our culture says that you should put yourself first and not sacrifice yourself. But I kind of feel the opposite. I feel like when you have principles and values and you believe in family and marriage the way that we do, you will sacrifice yourself. Like, that's also wisdom. It's making good choices. It's being dedicated to the vows that you made for your family, for your marriage. When you have children, like, they're your responsibility. It's your job to raise them. And so maybe I have lost myself a little bit along the way. Maybe I've become a slightly different person so that I can run my company, or I've, sacrificed my first preferences to be the mom that I know that my kids need. That's okay. So while I am on this journey of, who am I really at my core? I want to be more real with you guys. I'm going to really be dedicated to videos like this because I want to share my heart, and I want to figure out who I am. Like, I'm in my bedroom right now and I want to be this version of myself, and I want to show up real for you guys. Okay. So that's my secret. That's what my goal is for 2019. And the message is, though, if you feel like you've lost yourself along the way a little bit, it's okay. It's okay, because our family and our marriage, they do come first. I believe in that. I believe in what I've committed to. And I believe that it's easier to raise healthy children than to fix broken adults. And so I want to give my kids the time and attention they need. And you know what? It goes so fast. My youngest is going to be 11 and my oldest is graduating. Like, I know it doesn't feel like it in the moment. It didn't feel like it in the moment to me either when they were all like in those really young ages, 7 and under, 9 and under. But now I'm like, they're right. It goes so fast. So I'm so glad that I've morphed my business life and my work around them. I'm so happy that I've made those choices. And so, yeah, maybe I don't quite know my Enneagram type, right? That's okay. There's plenty of time for me to figure that out. So I hope this encourages you today. Let me know, what is your Enneagram? I would love to know. Let me know did you nail it right away, or are you like me and you're kind of between a couple numbers? And I know we can see ourselves reflected in all the numbers, but there should be, right, a primary number because it's our motivation, it's what drives us, it's where our primary like core is coming from. So I'm really curious. So let me know your numbers. Tell me if you're on a similar journey as me, and be you. Just be you. And I know that's so overly simplified, but we got to figure this out, right? We got to figure out who we are and who we really are at our core, and move through life accordingly. Okay, that's all for today. Bye.